Hello everybody, welcome to my humble little forge, and today I'm going to be making a set of traditional fire tongs. These ones are going to be different than your everyday kind of looking tongs too. I'm going to make a horse's head out of a piece of 16mm round, and I'm going to fire weld it onto the main body of it. And hopefully you like the video, and if you like what you're seeing, be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Right, so we'll start off by getting it hot. It's always a good idea. And I'll start doing a little taper there on the front, and we'll start getting the shape of the muzzle. And I'll set down then on the edge of the anvil, and that will kind of make that piece pop. Just give it a little bit of distinction. Step further back then, and I get the cheek and the neck. And you can see the shape of the horse's face is starting to come already, and it's only a couple of hammer blows in. Really, it's the angle of how you hold it to the edge that will kind of dictate that shape that you get. And now here I'm just kind of defining some of the areas on it. So now I have my tools now to get the mouth, and that's the hot cut chisel. I want to do the nose, and that's a center punch. That will make the nose flare, and that is an eye punch. So I'll get it hot again and lock it in the leg vise, and just going to come straight in then with the hot cut, and then get the mouth to open up. So I'm happy with the mouth. Now I'll come in now with my center punch. It's a very, very short tapered point, and you find that that'll make the nose flare open a bit. Very like a horse, I think. So happy out now, I'm doing the eyes. So I'll come straight in with the eye punch. The key to doing it really is you want it hot, because if it's not like a bright yellow like that, it's going to bounce, and you'll end up with about 3 eyes on the one side, so you kind of have to be careful doing it. Right, so now I want to get the ears, so I'm coming in with a hot cut chisel, and I'm trying to peel up a layer of it, and hopefully that'll give me enough material then to have the ears. So just reshaping the wonky neck. Right, so here I'm using a cross-beam hammer to get the shape of the crest. I'm kind of tapering it down and giving it a bit of texture as well. But what I find is texturing it like that on the anvil is only flattening out one side, whilst I have the other side nice and textured. So I put a piece of timber down on the anvil like that, and then I'll kind of start shaping it then. And because the timber is softer than the metal, it won't flatten the opposite side, so it's a nice way of doing it. A bit smoky, but good results. Alright, so there we have the horse's head. I think it's good enough. You can spend days doing these, trying to get better at them and trying to tweak little bits, but as far as being recognisable as a horse, I think it's good enough. But I'm going to keep going on. Right, so here's where I'm going to do the hinge. I'm using a slot punch then to start it off. I'm just really want to mark it here, and when I bring it out of the fire like this, I know exactly where I'm going to be punching. Right, and here's a bolster plate. Basically what that's going to do is going to support the sides when I'm punching through. If I was to punch straight through now over the hardy hole or the square hole there, the piece will kind of get sucked down into it, and a good chance of damaging it or breaking where I'm punching as well. And here now I'm flattening out, and what that's going to do is going to smoothen all the inside where the hinge is. So it'll allow it then to open and close more smoothly. Right, so I'm just forging out this section that's after the hinge plate, and then I'm going to forge weld on the reins of the tongs then afterwards. And here then I'm just finishing it off, so I'm going to round off the edges of it. And when I flatten out the other side that's 12mm round, it's going to be exactly the same as this, so it'll match up nicely then. Now I'm just going to give this one more bit of a tweak and then fire weld on the reins. This is just smoothing out the inside of it. This is a process called upsetting. Basically what it is you're knocking material back into itself to swell it up. And the reason then I'm doing this is because I want to fire weld on the reins. And because I'm joining two pieces and hammering them together, there's a good chance you can lose material or it'll look thinner than what it should be. So it just gives you a better chance of doing it and having a better result in the end, really. So if you've never seen a fire weld, this is going to be a scarf weld. And what I'm doing here is I'm making a scarf. So you do this because the two pieces will sit nice and flush. If I was to just weld two flat pieces together, we'll say it'll cause a shear plane and you won't have a really strong weld. Now if there's any eagle eye here, you'll see that it doesn't actually take with the first hammer blow. And this is because my fire is actually getting quite dirty. That's okay, I can take out some of the clinker from the fire, bring it up to a good welding heat now, and then close it up nicely. Right, that's a good old weld in the end, and now I'm going to start and do the other part of the hinge. So I'll start again now by upsetting this piece. Right, so now I've got the general shape of it, I can hammer straight into the hole I punched for the hinge, and this will take the shape exactly of what I want. And a little bit of gentle persuasion and it'll come out nice and easy. So I'll take it onto the leg vise now and give it a bit of a rasp. That'll just sweeten it up so it'll be a little bit looser in there. Right, so happy enough with everything now, and I would lock the two pieces into the leg vise like this in their final position, we'll say. So now I can take a little center punch, hit that in, and drill the hole. Right, and here now I'm going to use a horseshoe as a bolster because it's the perfect size of what I want. So when I'm hammering the rivet closed on one side, I'll have an even amount of material on the other side so I can close it up, if that makes any sense. I remember when I was making tongs years ago, my first couple of pairs in particular, and you'd make each piece separately and try and match them up and then drill your holes and then assemble it, and it would absolutely drive you mental. So assemble it first and then doing exactly like this is actually by far the most efficient way of doing it. It literally took me less than 5 minutes to shape these out. Right, so what I've done here is I've cut the ends so they're perfectly flush, and now I can forge on some grabbers. I'm going to make these kind of like concave, so I'm going to do that over the end of the anvil, and so that's going to be better now for grabbing all this OVI'd coal that we have nowadays. And now for the maker's mark. So after a good clean now with a wire wheel and sealed up with beeswax, here we have it. Thanks for watching, everyone.